Yo, what's up everybody? It's your girl Cassie, back with another video. And this time, we're going full-on travel mode. We're talking about those things you always wondered about flying but were too afraid to ask. Let me tell you, airlines have secrets, man. Like deep, dark secrets they don't want you to know. But fear not, my friends, because today we're spilling the tea. We're about to expose those airline secrets, those hidden truths that will change the way you fly forever. Get ready to have your mind blown, because once you know these secrets, there's no going back. So sit back, relax, and make sure your seatbelts are fastened, because this is going to be one bumpy ride through the hidden world of air travel. Alright, first up, we're tackling a mystery that's been puzzling travelers for years, the case of the missing life vest. You know, that bright yellow thing under your seat that's supposed to save your life in an emergency? Yeah, well, sometimes it's gone. Poof! Vanished into thin air. I know what you're thinking, who would steal a life vest? It's not exactly a fashion statement, right? But believe it or not, some people think it's a cool souvenir. Can you imagine? Hey, check out this life vest I swiped from my last flight. Pretty awesome, right? No, dude, not cool. Not cool at all. So here's the deal. If you're not on the first flight of the day, take a quick peek under your seat before takeoff. Make sure that life vest is there, safe and sound, because you never know when you might need it. Trust me, it's better to be safe than sorry. Now I get it. People love souvenirs. I've got a whole drawer full of weird stuff I've collected on my travels. But there's a line, you know? Taking a life vest crosses that line. It's not just about you. It's about the safety of everyone on board. Think about it. What if there's an emergency and you need that life vest? Or worse, what if the person next to you needs it? Stealing a life vest isn't just selfish, it's downright dangerous. And trust me, the consequences of getting caught are way worse than a slap on the wrist. So, let's all agree to leave those life vests where they belong. On the plane, ready to do their job in case of an emergency. All right? All right, moving on. All right, let's talk about hygiene, people. Because when it comes to airplanes, things aren't always as clean as they seem. I'm talking about those tray tables, those armrests, those seat pockets. You know, all the surfaces you touch a million times during a flight. Here's the thing, airlines have a very limited amount of time to clean those planes between flights. We're talking like 25 to 40 minutes for a short-haul flight, and maybe 90 to 120 minutes for a long haul. That's not a lot of time to disinfect an entire plane, especially when you consider how many people were coughing, sneezing, and touching everything in sight. Now, I'm not saying you should freak out or anything, but it's always a good idea to take matters into your own hands. That's right, my friends. I'm talking about packing those antibacterial wipes. Give your space a quick once-over, wipe down those surfaces, and breathe a little easier knowing you're one step ahead of the germ game. I know, some of you might be thinking I'm being a little paranoid here, but trust me, I've seen things, man. Things that would make your skin crawl. Remember that time I found a half-eaten sandwich under my seat? Or that other time when I sat down and felt something sticky on my armrest? Yeah, not exactly the most pleasant flying experience. And it's not just about visible dirt either. We're talking about bacteria, viruses, all those microscopic creatures that love to hang out in public places. Airplanes, with their recycled air and close quarters, are basically like giant petri dishes. So yeah, those antibacterial wipes, they're not just for peace of mind, they're your secret weapon in the battle against airplane germs. And hey, if you want to go the extra mile, pack a small bottle of hand sanitizer too. Your immune system will thank you. Alright, so you're settling into your seat feeling good. Maybe you're about to watch a movie, maybe you're gonna try to get some sleep. You reach for that blanket, that fluffy cloud of comfort, right? Just don't do it. You ever wonder why they give you those tiny plastic-wrapped pillows, but the blankets are just there? Yeah, there's a reason for that. Those blankets? They're not always fresh out the laundry. Flight attendants have spilled the tea, and it ain't pretty. Sometimes those blankets are only washed for the first flight of the day. After that, they fold them up, put them back in the bin, ready for the next unsuspecting passenger. I don't know about you, but that's enough to make me want to wear a hazmat suit on the plane. Seriously, pack your own travel blanket or a Snuggie. Whatever works, just don't rely on those airplane blankets for hygiene. Now I know what you're thinking, Casey, you're freaking me out, man. What about the pillows? Okay, deep breaths. The pillows are a little less scary, mainly because they come in those little plastic bags. But let's be real, those things are about as comfortable as sleeping on a brick. You're better off bringing your own neck pillow. Trust me, your neck will thank you later. I used to be skeptical about neck pillows. Thought they were for grandmas on vacation. Then I discovered the turtleneck pillow. It's this weird, amazing invention that actually supports your head properly. Game changer. Look, I'm all about traveling light, but comfort is key, especially on those long-haul flights. So ditch the airline's questionable offerings and pack your own travel essentials. You'll thank me later. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, free stuff. You know how they always say it never hurts to ask? Well, on a plane, that's especially true. Airlines are sitting on a treasure trove of freebies, just waiting for you to ask for them. I'm talking sanitizing wipes, slippers, toothbrush kits, extra snacks. You name it, they probably have it stashed somewhere in those magical airplane cupboards. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter if you're flying first class or budget. The key is to be polite, be friendly, and don't be afraid to make your request. Remember, flight attendants are people too. They deal with grumpy passengers all day long. A little kindness can go a long way. Plus, who knows, they might just surprise you with a free upgrade. Okay, maybe not, but it's worth a shot, right? Now, if you're traveling with kids, listen up. This is where the freebie game gets really good. Airlines know that keeping kids entertained on a flight is crucial to everyone's sanity. So don't be shy about asking for things like activity books, coloring sets, or even a pair of those cool pilot wings. Trust me, those little things can make all the difference between a peaceful flight and a total meltdown. And here's a pro tip. If you're lucky, you might even be able to swing a cockpit tour for your little one. I know, right? Talk about a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Just ask the flight attendant nicely. Maybe slip in a compliment about how much your kid loves airplanes. You never know what kind of magic you can create with a little friendly persuasion. Okay, time to address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the sleeping pilot in the cockpit. You've probably heard the rumors, the whispers, the urban legends about pilots dozing off mid-flight. Now, before you start freaking out, let me be clear. It's not as dramatic as it sounds. Pilots are humans too, and just like everyone else, they need sleep. Especially on those long-haul flights that can stretch on for what feels like an eternity. The truth is, many airlines have something called controlled rest, which is basically a fancy way of saying scheduled naps for pilots. It's all very official and regulated, with one pilot resting while the other stays alert and in control of the plane. So, no need to picture both pilots sound asleep at 35,000 feet. It's highly unlikely, although there have been a few rare and unfortunate instances. But hey, let's focus on the positive, right? Now, while pilots are catching some shut-eye in the cockpit, you might be wondering what the rest of the crew is up to. Well, let me tell you, those long-haul flights are no walk in the park for them either. That's why many airplanes have these secret hidden compartments where the crew can go to escape the passengers and get some much-needed rest. I'm talking about actual bunk beds, people. These crew rest areas are like little slices of heaven tucked away above or below the passenger cabin. They're usually equipped with bunks, curtains for privacy, and sometimes even a little entertainment system. So next time you're on a long flight and you see a door mysteriously closed off, it might just be the entrance to this secret crew lounge. And no, you're probably not invited. But a guy can dream, right? Alright, so you're settling in for your flight, getting comfy, maybe even about to doze off. You reach for the window shade, ready to block out the world and slip into dreamland. But wait! The flight attendant's voice cuts through. Please make sure your window shades are open for takeoff and landing. What gives? It's a safety thing. With shades up, you help the crew spot issues. Eyes on the prize, people. You never know what you might spot out there. So next time, remember, you're part of the safety team too. Now I know what you're thinking. Casey, I'm just one person. What difference can I really make? Every little bit helps. Hundreds of passengers, all scanning the tarmac and the sky. That's a lot of eyeballs looking out for potential problems. Think of it like a neighborhood watch, but instead of nosy neighbors, it's a plane full of vigilant travelers. And trust me, the flight crew appreciates it. They've got enough on their plate, dealing with turbulence, grumpy passengers, and the occasional coffee spill. But beyond safety, there's another reason why open window shades are a good idea, especially during takeoff and landing natural light. Our bodies are naturally programmed to wake up with the sun and wind down as it sets. By keeping those shades open, you're helping your internal clock adjust to the new time zone, which can help minimize jet lag. And who doesn't want to avoid jet lag? It's like a travel hangover, and nobody wants that. So next time you're on a flight, do yourself and everyone else a favor. Open that shade, enjoy the view, and be an active participant in your own safety. Let's talk about the pre-flight phone debate. The flight attendant says airplane mode, and you hear the collective groan. Some comply, others cling to their phones. But why? Technology has advanced so much. Our phones are now like spaceships compared to old models. So why are we still in the digital dark ages on planes? It's a gray area. Some airlines require it, others don't. And network congestion is a real issue. Hundreds of people trying to connect in a metal tube. It's a recipe for slow internet. Now, I'm not saying you should go rogue and start live streaming your flight just because you can. It's always a good idea to follow the rules, even if they seem a little outdated. Plus, you don't want to be that guy who ignores the flight attendant's instructions and causes a scene. Trust me, you won't win any popularity contests at 30,000 feet. But here's a little secret. Even some flight attendants admit to bending the rules a bit. So, while you probably won't crash the plane by leaving your phone on, it's still best to err on the side of caution. Think of it this way. Airplane mode is a chance to disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with yourself. Use this time to catch up on that book you've been meaning to read, listen to some music, or just enjoy the peace and quiet. So, sit back, relax, and embrace the digital detox. Your mind, and maybe your fellow passengers, will thank you for it. We've all been there, crammed into a metal tube, hurtling through the air at hundreds of miles per hour, surrounded by strangers. It's enough to make anyone a little edgy. But amidst the chaos, flight attendants are a calming presence. They greet you with a smile, guide you to your seat, and ensure your safety. They're highly trained professionals, responsible for your well-being at 30,000 feet. And trust me, they've seen it all. Now, I'm not saying you should be afraid of flight attendants. In fact, most of the time they're incredibly patient and understanding individuals who are just trying to do their jobs. But it's important to remember that they're not pushovers. They have a job to do, and part of that job is maintaining order and ensuring the safety of everyone on board. So next time you're on a flight, take a moment to appreciate the hard work and dedication of your flight crew. They're not just there to serve you drinks and snacks, although they do that too. They're highly trained professionals who are responsible for your safety and well-being. Treat them with respect, follow their instructions, and remember that they have your best interests at heart. And if you're ever feeling sassy or entitled, just remember, they've probably dealt with worse. They're trained to handle any situation, and they're not afraid to use their skills. So be cool, be respectful, and enjoy the ride. And if you happen to see a flight attendant practicing their roundhouse kick in the galley, just play it cool and pretend you didn't see anything. Alright guys, buckle up. This next secret is wild. You know how you order a coffee on a red-eye? Well, surprise, it might be decaf and you wouldn't even know it. I'm talking about a full-on decaf conspiracy theory here. Apparently, a sleepy plane is a happy plane. Just don't be surprised if you're feeling a little too zen on that overnight flight. So, what's the deal with airlines and decaf? Why the secrecy? Well, some flight attendants have spilled the beans, and it makes sense. Think about it, a plane full of wired-up passengers? That's a recipe for disaster. People bouncing off the walls, demanding snacks, complaining about the slightest noise. Decaf? It's like a sedative for the easily agitated traveler. They get their coffee fix, minus the jitters. I mean, I'm all for a good adrenaline rush, but not at 35,000 feet. Keep it chill, people. And airlines, if you're gonna slip us decaf, at least be upfront about it, right? Transparency is key. But hey, maybe this whole decaf conspiracy is just that, a conspiracy. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Or maybe, just maybe, there's a secret society of flight attendants controlling our caffeine intake. Who knows? Alright, let's talk about something we all need. Water. Specifically, that little cup of H2O they offer you on a flight. It seems harmless enough, right? Well, what if I told you that airplane tap water has a dark side? I'm not talking about some crazy conspiracy theory here. There have been actual studies that found some pretty nasty stuff lurking in airplane water systems. Bacteria? Anyone? I know. Now you're probably thinking twice about that cup of coffee you just ordered. And you should. Even the pilots are cautious. Word on the tarmac is that they mostly drink coffee and tea because it's made with boiled water. Look, I'm not saying all airplane water is contaminated. But why risk it? Stick to bottled water. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? Plus, it's sealed tight, so you know no gremlins have been messing with it. Here's the thing about flying, it dehydrates you. The air is super dry up there, and before you know it, you're feeling like a raisin. So you gotta stay hydrated. But how do you do that when the tap water is questionable? Well, my friends, this is where your inner prepper comes in. Pack your own water bottle. You can even bring an empty one through security and fill it up at a water fountain once you're past the gate. And listen, if you're feeling fancy, throw in some electrolyte tablets. It's like a party in your mouth, and it'll keep you feeling fresh and energized throughout your flight. So remember, when it comes to airplane tap water, proceed with caution. Stay hydrated, my friends, and keep those water bottles handy. And there you have it, folks. The insider secrets of air travel. From mysterious decaf to the truth about airplane tap water, we've covered it all. Now you're armed with the knowledge to navigate those friendly skies like a pro. Whether you're a frequent flyer or a first-timer, remember these tips and tricks, and your next flight will be smoother than a baby's bottom. And hey, if you enjoyed this wild ride through the world of aviation secrets, hit that subscribe button like it's the last slice of pizza. You won't regret it. And don't forget to share your own travel secrets in the comments below. Let's create a community of savvy travelers, sharing tips and exposing the hidden truths of the aviation world. Until next time, keep those wings flapping and the skies friendly. Safe travels, everyone.